welcome to my weekly vlog, focusing on everything you want and need to know about fashion. This is Emily here, and this week I'm wearing the Madeline dress, which is one of my favorite pieces of my fall 2020 collection. So let's get started. So this week I'll be discussing, where does inspiration come from? One of the most fascinating topics of fashion design is where the inspiration comes from for a collection. From a fashion critic's perspective, or even a customer's perspective, it can make or break how you feel about a collection. So where did I get my inspiration for this collection? I think a lot of creative minds take inspiration from different places. I've had mentors who rely solely on the fabric to tell them what to do. Other people may look at nature, their environment, the streets. You can find things we may not usually combine, like jeans and lace, could be fur and color, big boots and summer dresses. This is really how trends emerge. It could also be from one's own culture or someone's culture that they find inspiring. For example, the use of Japanese kimonos or African prints. You could get inspiration from texture, scents, everyday observations. We all perceive things differently, and beautiful designs can be born out of making these connections. Designers can look at architectural sites and take inspiration from elegant lines to create airy silhouettes, or even interior design. I personally looked at a lot of modern vintage interiors for my own personal collection. Some people have very crazy inspirations. It could be dreams. Some people look at art or photography. Some people deal with the past, like traditional values, heritage, legacy, their country. Think like Ralph Lauren or Alexander McQueen. They look at traditional clothes. It could be a kilt or a caftan, and they modernize it or renew it. Or they just embrace the classics. And then you have some designers that deal more with present time. So they have their finger on the pulse. They know the zeitgeist or the spirit of the times, and they use that to determine what they put out onto the runway. Think like Stella McCartney. Then you also have more avant-garde designers who deal with the future and looking forward at what fashion may be. Think like Rei Kawakubo. Hopefully I didn't butcher that last name. But they really make you question and make you think. They're very artistic and innovative. So for my personal creative process, for my latest fall 2020 collection, I think I'm somewhere in between all of this. So I pull from very nostalgic photographs and even old magazine ads from the 60s and 80s. I'm very inspired by old New York. And I'm also inspired by the modern woman and how I can use what has been worked in the past to fit her needs today. I think this style is sort of like modern vintage, and I would say it's very much my own brand. It's very much the Emily Westenberger aesthetic. So I would not consider the woman I dress to be avant-garde. I focus a lot on wearability, but I do consider the future of fashion in my creative process. When I began putting together my first collection, I was trying to find my niche. So throughout the process, I talked to a bunch of different women. I found that throughout all the chaos of oversaturation of information, and there's so much out there in fashion, there's not a lot in fashion that you can't really do today. There's not a lot that's off limits. But as far as the average woman and what she wants, it can be very simple. Really, most women are looking for the classic, timeless, elegant silhouette because there is that oversaturation today. So that's what I chose to focus on. So I found that classic, timeless, and elegant silhouettes were the most coveted. Trends will come and go, but there's always a focus on what is wearable, and that is very important to me and what inspired my fall 2020 collection. So that's what I kept in mind when developing each style and manifesting my fall 2020 collection. I also created a mood board and pulled swatches after producing my sketches. So I focused on fit, fabrics, and colors that make a woman feel comfortable, but you could still look elegant and dress the styles up for daytime or nighttime. I lined the pieces with a silky, soft satin that feels so good on the skin. I used woven fabrics with a slightly oversized fit for movement. And I dropped armhole seams and added pleats, not only on the outside, but in the lining as well, and this also helps with ease of movement. I decided to produce everything in Los Angeles in my very own studio. There's too much going on in the fashion industry that makes me uneasy as far as people taking advantage of other people in these sweatshop-like environments. But that's really a topic for another day. I wanted to have control over my own production. So that's it. That's where my inspiration comes from. If you liked today's video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about what I discussed today, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And I might even do a new video about it. You can subscribe below and please share. Thank you and have a great day.